Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview Sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.
Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast. This is your co-host, Seth Greene. Today, I've got the good fortune to be joined by Shay Rowbottom, a LinkedIn influencer and digital marketing entrepreneur specializing in creating social media video content to attract attention and bring more eyeballs to your business. Shay, thanks so much for joining us.
Yes, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me, Seth.
Awesome. So let's go back in time. How did you get started?
Oh, yeah. Well, I had another company on Facebook for years that I started when I was 23, dropped out of college, just always had this belief that I could do it better myself. Was actually a musician for a few years, tried that, didn't work out, found video and said, okay, here's a way that people are making money. And that's how I got into digital marketing. I actually started out licensing viral videos for large pages on Facebook. And that was my business for years that I had started in my bedroom at age 23. After about a year of that, got an investment, scaled it, grew it, and really just had amassed so much data over the years growing that Facebook company on what makes a video go viral, and what do the people online really want to see? What gets eyeballs? What gets traffic? Top of funnel marketing, that sort of thing. So I did that for a few years, and then I found out about LinkedIn. I actually was going through a really rough time, and I had written a prayer in my diary asking God to send me a sign, to send me something to help me feel alive again and excited about life. And then 1 week later, I met a guy in Milwaukee who told me about LinkedIn, and I had never thought about LinkedIn. I thought it was just a job platform. And he said, oh, no, LinkedIn's changing. Video is actually a feature now. And you know everything about video, Shay, from your other company. Why don't you get on LinkedIn and apply what you've learned to your own brand? So that's what I did. And I posted my first video May 7th, 2018. And since then have generated millions of dollars in revenue, all from organic videos that I've posted on LinkedIn, and have grown my following to over 600,000 followers. So I eventually, decided to sell that Facebook company shortly after I discovered the opportunity on LinkedIn. And today I teach business owners and entrepreneurs how to create effective videos to attract inbound leads on the LinkedIn platform.
Okay, so wow, the longer version of that should probably be in a book.
It will be a book. I'll let you know, Seth, when the books come in. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'd be happy to publish that and talk to you about that. But let's unpack some of that. Okay, so what does licensing videos for large brands mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've all seen by now, if we're on social media, the cute video of the cat doing a trick, or the 3-legged dog that got rescued and everyone loves, or the army veteran coming home and surprising his mom. And, these sorts of almost viral video clips. So it was my job to go find these clips and track down the owner of them and obtain a license to redistribute it, re-edit it, and rebrand it for large publishers on Facebook, primarily pages that were just brands, didn't have a face, just publishing feel good content, trending news, trending stories, but they needed to do it safely, because what was happening on Facebook is a lot of pages were stealing content and growing their following through illegal video clips in which they didn't actually have a license from the media owner. And eventually Facebook cracked down. They started, to get stricter with the reporting, even shutting down pages entirely. And that's when there was really a need in the market for safe licensed video content. So I just got, I would say it was a lot of hard work and focus for sure, but a little bit of just being at the right place at the right time where, everyone needed these videos. And I was able to create a model in which I didn't actually get exclusive licenses from the content owner, meaning it was a lot more attractive for the owner of the video clip because they didn't actually have to give up their rights. They still were the sole owner of the clip, but they had given me a non-exclusive license to be able to redistribute their story. And that's what I did. And like I said, it ranged anything from, trending pet stories to feel good family stuff to, even like new trending tech products like Cheddar. And that is ultimately also what led me into advertising. Was I started to realize, okay, I found a formula for editing content so that it's more optimized, so it gets more views in the feed. Now, how can I reach out to product companies and actually apply this to ads? And that's what I eventually did as well. And I launched a media buying division at that last company. So I was pretty blessed with the trifecta. I learned how to create viral videos, what sort of stories were trending and all that. But I also learned how to get products in front of people online that otherwise probably wouldn't have seen them, because a lot of videographers and marketers out there, even still today, but especially back then a few years ago, they don't understand that the ball game is different on social media. And when they produce a video, it's very much optimized for television, or it's like a commercial, and it is no longer relevant to the social media channels, which is what I came in and did. And then, like I said, I just took everything I learned and applied it to my own brand to make my own videos.
So I love that you had so much data to analyze from all of those different places, and then you used it yourself, and that worked. And then you've translated that into LinkedIn. Before we get into the LinkedIn section, just one more quick question. I guess this does apply to LinkedIn. What do you think are some of the biggest reasons why videos content catches on? What do we as business owners need to make sure is in our content so more people will share it?
Yeah, great question. So the biggest thing about video that differentiates it from other mediums and other forms of content is you actually get to feel like you know the person. Had I grown my LinkedIn following, posting, all the same topics, all the same sort of education information, but it was always in, say, article format, I would not have grown the trust with the audience that I have today. When you, the business owner, show up on video, you're a lot more relatable. People do business with people, not businesses. And that is one of the driving factors behind the success of my company, is I really train entrepreneurs and business owners to reverse that belief that a lot of us have been taught in business, which is emotions don't belong in business. Don't be personal. Don't overshare. Just keep it professional. Keep it stiff. Keep it cold. Only make content talking about how great your company is and how awesome your product is. That actually doesn't work long term, because what you're doing is you're not allowing the audience an opportunity to relate to you on a human level. So, that's just the first thing I would say right there, is there's a reason why when video comes to any social media platform, it dominates. Human beings can relate more when they see another human being on video. If I had just only posted articles all this time, people really wouldn't know Shay. If I go to a networking event or a mastermind and I walk in the room, people already know me. They feel like they know me. They've seen my videos. And that right there is the magic of video marketing. The 3 pillars that you got to knock down before you make a sale, before you turn a prospect into a client, is you've got to get them to know, like, and trust you. And this is something that we've all become familiar with in the sales process. But for me and for several other business owners like me now out there who I've trained, the process of getting people to know, like, and trust you is already broken down by the time people get on the phone if they found you through your video vlog and through your content.
All right, so that makes a ton of sense. Let's dive into LinkedIn. Now you're talking about using video on LinkedIn. I thought LinkedIn was supposed to be a business to business professional social network. So talk a little bit about the differences there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was originally just very stiff and cold and only business and a lot of pitching and a lot of ads. And I actually attribute a lot of the changes on LinkedIn to my influence there. I really came and changed the climate there. I brought video. I showed people that, hey, it's okay to be casual sometimes. It's okay to be personal sometimes. Yeah, we're in business, but we all have lives. And again, just like I touched on earlier, a lot of the content that goes viral or gets more leads is actually personal content that's just getting people to relate to you as a business owner. So LinkedIn is changing a lot. I do think that it was originally a lot more dry, and now it's becoming a little more like other platforms. We see more personal content. We see more creativity there, more videos now, more fun. And LinkedIn just this past year now, recently, a couple months ago, launched what's called creator mode, which is literally them building out a creator platform where people like myself who regularly post content here are going to be eligible to be matched with relevant brands who want to actually do influencer marketing on LinkedIn. So, I mean, that right there can tell you a lot about how much this platform has evolved. Even the activity section on your LinkedIn profile that showcases your content and how many followers you have is now being listed above the experience and education portion of your LinkedIn profile. So what does that tell us? It tells us that LinkedIn is becoming a more personal, more casual platform. Yes, it's still a place that attracts business owners and that people go to do business. But I think what we're seeing on LinkedIn is actually just a reflection of what we're seeing in the greater world and in the rising consciousness of humanity, which is just people waking up to realize, you know what? I don't want to be one person in my personal day-to-day life and then have to put on a metaphorical mask and be someone else when I go to work. I just want the two to blend. I want my life to be cohesive. I want to, do what I love for a living and not have to hide my true self. That is what's happening in humanity right now. And that's being reflected on LinkedIn with more and more business owners stepping up saying, hey, this is the real me, love it or hate it, take it or leave it, who wants to do business? And people are finding they actually attract a much more aligned clientele when they approach video marketing this way, because they're actually attracting people who accept the real them, who aren't buying their product or service because of some fakeness they perpetually put out, but rather because of some authenticity and vulnerability that they were brave enough to have faith would bring them the right clientele that they actually wake up excited to do business with every day. And that's the changing climate on LinkedIn. And like I said, it's been a really cool experience for me, because when I came on 3 years ago, there was not a lot of that. And I've worked really hard to have influence there to teach people, hey, look, I'm doing it. I'm admitting flaws. I'm not perfect all the time. And my business is actually growing. Yours can too. And I think that that's really inspiring to see people waking up and putting their guard down, taking off the mask and realizing, you know what, I can be myself and I can be authentic and vulnerable, and I'm still going to get business.
I love it. That is absolutely awesome. So you grew, 2 million video views on LinkedIn on a business network, so many followers. What do you think has made, I know it's all about the video and being authentic, but what are 3 tips, 3 shark bites that our listeners and viewers could do, step 1, 2, 3, to start gaining more engagement and more traction on LinkedIn?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've actually gotten over 30 million views now on my content.
You got to update the about page on your website.
I do. I really have to update that. Yeah, I've gone viral quite a few times since. But let me hit you with some tangibles, right? So here's the basics going into video. These are the most common mistakes that I see that anyone listening right now who maybe has shot a few videos with little success, you're likely making one of these errors. So I'll break it down right here. And the first one is, do not introduce yourself in a social media video. Especially on LinkedIn, we see business owners trying to be more formal, be professional. They'll start the video with, hey everyone, my name's Shay Rowbottom and I work in, X industry. And today I'm here to talk about, the problem is you've already lost the audience's attention when you use your first precious 3 to 5 seconds to introduce yourself and to share information that actually is already right there for everyone to see. We can all see the name on your profile. If we want to learn more about you or where you work or your background, we can click back to your profile to learn more. So don't introduce yourself. Use that first 3 to 5 seconds to have an engaging headline that's relevant to the topic at hand, relevant to whatever it is that you're about to cover in this video. And then that's going to allow people watching to make an informed decision right away within the first 3 to 5 seconds, whether or not this is something that is relevant to them that they would like to tune into. So I always say, if you're confused about headlines, just pretend that the message of your video was going to be reformatted into an article for the LA or the New York Times. Now, your video is an article. Great. What would the headline to this article be? And just start your video with that headline. And you can always, in the video, as you get further in, clarify and give more context around that headline. But it's really important that you start with something striking that's relevant to the topic at hand you're about to cover. The second thing that I will say is, if you're new to growing a following and you don't really have much momentum built on your page yet, and you just started making these videos, you do really want to keep them short. And this is something we hear a lot of the gurus, the Gary V's and the digital marketers talk about, short, snackable, digestible clips. Well, why is that? I'm going to break it down. When you are competing with the news feed on social media and on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is still a news feed driven platform, you're going to come across a lot of strangers who don't know you, who don't know, like, and trust you, who have no idea who you are. Now, these strangers don't actually owe you any of their precious time. So when they see a video pop up in their feed from an unknown content creator, a stranger with content they've never seen before, they are very unlikely to invest, say, 6 minutes into unknown content from a stranger. They're just going to scroll right past, not even give you a chance. But if all the factors are the same, they don't know me, my content is new, and I pop up in the feed and my video is, say, 60 seconds, well, now that person is a lot more likely to say, okay, I don't know this Shay chick. Who is this? What's this going to be? But you know what? It's just 60 seconds of my day. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to invest. And that's how you get new followers. So I always say, for those of you wanting to do longer form content, that's fine. Just make sure you're releasing short clips regularly to build up new followers. I now, with 3 years of experience under my belt and over 600,000 followers, I sure can release a 10-minute video on LinkedIn, and you bet your butt people are going to watch it. But those are the people who already know, like, and trust me and are willing to sit through a 10-minute video. All of the new followers I gained today are still from the shorter clips that are, say, 1, 2, or 3 minutes long. So definitely do what you can to summarize and condense your messages, cut out the fluff, go over your video script, ask what is absolutely necessary to get my message across, and what's maybe just extra, what's maybe just ego that my ego wants to throw in there, but it's not really going to help the viewer have a solid takeaway from this. And that actually leads to my last point, just about, okay, so what sort of content do you talk about? What do you do? How do you attract your target market through video? Well, you want to be helpful. So I always give new video creators this formula. What do I know that my target market doesn't know that would make their lives easier? So for me, I'm a video coach. Who's my target market? Anyone on social media that needs to learn how to make video. Okay, what would make their lives easier? Well, how about I just start sharing in my content free tips around how to make videos? And you don't need to pitch. You don't need to remind everyone, hey, this is what I do. Hire me, call me. You will inadvertently, through making helpful content like this, start to attract inbound leads because people will inadvertently start to see you as the authority. People now see me as the authority. If they hear a friend say, oh, I want to start making videos on LinkedIn, they're going to right away go, oh, I know who you need to follow, Shay Rowbottom. She's always giving away free tips. Go reach out to her. And that's how you build ambassadors on LinkedIn. And that's how you always ensure that your content does well, is just make sure that you're providing value and that you're helpful. But you definitely want to start out with something catchy, a catchy headline. And you do want to optimize the videos in your series if you're new by also keeping them short.
Those are great actionable items. Tell us a little bit about how you're working with entrepreneurs and brands to help them grow on LinkedIn.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I do have an online program, which I've been running for a couple of years. It's called the 6-week LinkedIn Video Bootcamp. I've had hundreds of business owners go through it. You can check out the recommendations on my LinkedIn profile to see some of the success stories. It's just completely revolutionized this platform. I'm really proud of the program. Basically, those tangible tips I just gave, that's just a small portion of what you actually get when you sign up and join this community, which is also a huge plus. You get to join a community of creators and you're not doing it alone, because a lot of times when we start making videos, our spouse or our friends or our families like, you're weird, why are you doing these videos? And it's hard to find a lot of support for something that's already very triggering for people and has a heavy fear of embarrassment attached to it. So when you join the bootcamp, you get all my teachings about how to start making videos. You also get access to my supportive community who's going to help you through it, who's not going to shame you, who's going to be there every step of the way. But I will say, Seth, I've recently moved into more corporate trainings as well. So, there's a lot of businesses out there, huge companies that have huge sales teams and divisions that are on LinkedIn that simply aren't properly trained. So I've also moved into doing live bootcamp trainings, virtual trainings, 2-day intensives for companies that have a whole sales team or a whole marketing team that also want to level up on LinkedIn and apply these video techniques to grow their business.
That is fantastic. Where can our listeners and viewers go to learn more about those?
Absolutely. You can reach out on my website. That's just shayrowbottom.com. There is a form there you can fill out to apply for a call with my team. And as always, Seth, I just tell people, just follow me on LinkedIn, it's linkedin.com/in/Shay Rowbottom. And all of my content, all of my original video content comes out on LinkedIn first. I always launch it there before my other platforms. So that's a great place to stay in touch with me.
Awesome. We'll send everybody there. Thank you so much for sharing some of your secrets with us. This has been Seth Greene for Sharkpreneur with Shay Rowbottom. Shay, thanks again.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Seth.
Thanks everybody for joining us, watching or listening. We'll see you next time.
Do you need money to fund your idea, product, or service? Are you ready to take your business to the next level, but need capital to get it done? Kevin Harrington has heard more than 50,000 pitches and knows how to help you make the perfect pitch to get the funding for your entrepreneurial dream. He's distilled the process down in his perfect pitch cheat sheet, and it's yours for free. Just text PITCH to him right now at 727-888-2100. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 right now and claim your free perfect pitch cheat sheet. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 to start funding your dream today.
This show has been produced by Market Domination, LLC. To discover how you can have your own show completely done for you and turn it into a real published book and become the authority in your marketplace, go to www.marketdominationllc.com/podcast offer.